This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Baruchim Habayim. We continue in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We begin today Siman Chaf Vav. Siman Chaf Vav. Im ein loy ela tefila achas. If all you have is one pair of tefillin, ma'niach oisa sheyesh loy u'mavarich aleha. If someone only has one tefillin, you put that one on, and you make a bracha. Shekol achas mitzvah b'fnei atzah. Each one is a mitzvah by itself. V'u'adinim yesh lo shteihem. Likewise, if you have two pairs, you have two tefillais. V'yesh lo shemainish and yachal aniachal achas. Where somebody has an issue, they have a wound on their arm or on their head, they can only put on one. Basically, they're not ma'akev. If you have one, you can put on one and not needed to put on the other. Says the Mishna Berura, shemainas kagan sheish lo ma'aka b'rosh b'zroi. Someone has a wound on their head or their arm. Basically, you're in a major rush. There's only an allotted time to put on one pair. Okay, now, what if you can only put on one, and which one should you put on? Some say put on the shalrosh because it has more kedusha. Why does the shalrosh have more kedusha? The Dirsha brings down because we say later on, roiv of shakai is on the shalrosh. The Mishna Berura explains that on the shalrosh you have shin and dalid, and the shalyad you have only the yud. If I'm not mistaken, the Beis Yosef writes a different reason, and that is because the shin itself is the name of Hashem, because shin is 300, which is Yud Kei Vav Kei Ba'at Bash. So the shin itself, the Balaturim says, V'ro kol amei aretz ki shem Hashem nikra alecha v'yaru mimeka. Shem Hashem nikra is Rashi Tevois shin. V'yaru kol amei v'ra'u kol amei ki shem Hashem nikra is Rashi Tevois shin. Anyway, some say, first put on the shalyad. What is this talking about? What is this talking about? When you could afterwards put on the second pair. But if afterwards you can't put on the second tefillah, you should put on the shalyan and shalrosh before you leave. Just because you're going to be late, that's not a reason to mivatel the mitzvah of tefillin. In other words, this that we're saying, they only have time to put on one, and they're not going to wait for you. That's only if ultimately you'll be able to put on the other. But if ultimately you can't put on the other, then you can't go on the trip. You can't go on the trip. You got to put on both of them, and if you're going to miss the trip, you miss the trip. Sif Beis. What if you only put on the shalrosh? Now this might make a nafkamina between the Mechaber and the Ramah. The Mechaber holds that you don't make any bracha on the shalrosh typically, but we hold that we always make a bracha on the shalrosh. So the Mechaber says, if you're only putting on the shalrosh, mevarich aleha al mitzvahs tefillin levad, you put on only al mitzvahs tefillin. Haga uladidan denoagim levarich b'chol yom shtei brachos. But for us, that our minog is to be mevarich every day, two brachas, mevarich shalrosh levad shtei brachos. You can make two brachas on the shalrosh, ve'ameniach shalyad levad, then mevarich lahaniach levad. What an amazing chidush in halacha, that according to us, that our minog is to make a bracha every day on the shal, two brachas. If you're only putting on the shalrosh, you make two brachas. Says the Mishna Berura, "Ledidan denoagim k'may shebayarnu b'simin chafei Mishna Berura sivkatan lamed aleph ayin sham that we hold that the lahaniach is also going on the shel rosh. Mevarich lahaniach. Listen to this. I am bepri megadim shehevi oid poiskim desfir lo de'afal shel yad levad nami mevarich shtei brachos. Why would the shel rosh be any better than the shel yad? The same way we make a bracha on the shel rosh, two brachos. The lahaniach is also going on the shel rosh, and the al is the sort of the completion of the mitzvah. So if you only have one, the shel rosh is not better than the shel yad. You'll make two. Lahalacha skima acherim de'eno v'archa al shel yad ela haniach lavad. Lahalacha we don't follow this prima gadim. The belav hachi habri yisham srula da'afil al shtei anami enu v'archa lachas. Because even on both of them, many poskim hold you only make one bracha. So hatenach, our minhag is to make two on the shel yad. Im heiniach shtehen v'loy beirach. If you put on both pairs of tefillin, you didn't make a bracha. The halach is you make a bracha so long as they're on you. What if you first made an al mitzvahs and then lahaniach ina chozem avarech? Aval l'chadchila afilu hiniach shel yad v'loy beirech. But l'chadchila, even if you put on the shel yad and you did not make a bracha, Yivarich alav, you should make the lahaniach koydem hanacha shel rosh before putting on the shel rosh. So if somebody put on the shel yad and did not yet make lahaniach, he should make lahaniach before he puts on the shel rosh. The Mishna Berura, the Dirshu brings, if somebody speaks after tefillin shel yad, where the Ramah says you have to make two brachos on the shel rosh, it's correct, as Mishna Berura pointed out, that you should be yemashmesh b'tefillin shel yad in order to go back and make lahaniach even on the shel yad before you make a bracha al mitzvahs tefillin. The Bir Halacha there brings the name of Rabbi Kiva Eger that if you talk out, you should first make al mitzvahs al tefillin shel rosh, and only afterwards you make lahaniach al tefillin shel yad. So that was Rabbi Kiva Eger in the situation where somebody spoke out before he put on the tefillin shel rosh. Okay, Rabbi, so we're going to hold it over here. Wishing everyone a great day. Kol tov.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.